Right, hello and welcome to all the listeners out there. Richard Gow here. So, I want to talk about the idea of being under pressure, right? So, just continuing a little bit on what we talked about yesterday, I guess what I wanted to say is, why don't you go out? Here's an idea, right? Fresh off the press. Why don't you go out and put yourself in a situation where you feel under pressure, just an experiment, right? That will lead you to some sort of discovery, some sort of learning that will lead you towards your end goal. And the only reason that I say this is because I guess part of this whole process is self-discovery, right? So from this whole weekend process, my process is I figured out that I kind of work well under pressure, which is great, but I also realized that I work well under pressure when someone else is putting the pressure on me. So what I guess I'm trying to get to is, let's do this together, right? Putting ourselves under controlled pressure can be a way to unlock those, figure out those synapses, figure out those scotomas, unlock those mental blocks that are hindering us and stopping us from achieving what we want on a regular basis. I mean, we have so many pressures in life that I guess adding another pressure to that would absolutely just suck, and most of us just kind of shut down. I know I do. So I guess it's how do we figure out how to do that for ourselves, right? Because you're working your 9 to 5, you're working at your hustle, and your boss says, I need this report done by today. Okay, so you get the report done. Or your boss says, I need sales to go up by X percentage by the end of the year. So, you change your focus and you redirect all your focus towards achieving that goal, because the pressure is coming from someone else. Because someone said to you that if you don't do this, you will not get your bonus. So, right, there's incentive. So what kind of incentive can we set for ourselves that we can hold ourselves accountable to achieving those goals? Right? That's the pressure that I'm talking about. How do we figure that out, and how do we do that for ourselves? I mean, I guess that's an open-ended question because I don't really know the answer. So if you guys have an idea or a practice that you guys do, drop a comment below and let me know, because I mean, that's what this is for, right? It's about motivating, and it's about learning about ourselves through chatting to each other and, bettering each other. This idea of, I mean, what's the point of social media if we're not trying to create a platform to converse, a platform to talk to each other? So the pressure that I learned about, and I learned about applying to myself, is that I can do things that most days I can't really, because I'm just too much in my head. The monkeys are playing in the cage, and I really struggle with it. So pressure is actually a good thing. And if we can learn to manipulate that pressure, that it doesn't come with all of the stresses that go along with it, that we can manage that process to get the best outcome, wouldn't that be amazing? I think it would. I wonder how I can do that in my life. I think brainstorming is the best way to figure out how to correctly and positively use pressure within our lives. I think that would be rad. Anyways, on a different note, when you're dealing with pressure in your day-to-day life, try and take it with a pinch of salt, right? Because the thing is, most of the decisions that we make in life, when it comes to our jobs and, a lot of relationships, they don't need to go from zero to the end of the world all in one sitting, right? Take a step back, breathe it in, breathe it out, and reassess. Social pressures and personal pressures, they're really difficult to deal with. And most of the time, the words that are said by others, we file away in our cabinets, in our heads. And I know I've done this so many times, that some people have said certain things to me, and I've kept it for years and years and years, and it hasn't served me one single bit. So be careful with what you file away, and try and turn it into a positive. If it doesn't serve you, then let it go. Let it blow out with the wind, because you're worth more. And on that, have a beautiful morning. And if it's evening, have a beautiful evening.